You know the love, you have heard the voice, you have seen the over-the-top direction, the epic charted streams, the late night let's play that defined a generation of YouTube. But do you know the pain behind it all? The truth is, before the millions of views, before the laughter, before the success, Markiplier was a broken man. This is the story of how he lost everything and used the pain to become unstoppable. Mark Edward Fishbolt was born on June 28, 1989 in Honolulu, Hawaii. His father was an Air Force officer, strict, structured, but deeply loving. His mother, a Korean immigrant, strong, kind, and fiercely protective. From the start, Mark's life was shaped by contrast, stability and chaos, love and uncertainty, discipline and deep emotional undercurrents. When he was still young, his family left Hawaii and settled in Cincinnati, Ohio. There, Mark grew up surrounded by video games, creativity, and the quiet tension of a household slowly unraveling. He was artistic, awkward, introspective, a kid who didn't quite fit in, but never stopped imagining. In 2008, Mark's life changed forever. His father, the man who had always been there, passed away after a long illness. Mark was 19, and suddenly the person who gave him strength, structure, and purpose was gone. He tried to move forward. He enrolled in the University of Cincinnati, studying biomedical engineering, but grief doesn't follow logic. Soon, Mark lost his job. His relationship fell apart, and as if life hadn't already pushed him far enough, doctors discovered a tumor on his adrenal gland. Mark went through surgery, alone, jobless, heartbroken, sick, at rock bottom. And then came the camera. It started as a distraction, something to do while hailing a chance to escape, even if just for a few hours. His first channel, demonetized, completely whipped. But instead of quitting, Mark tried again. He created a new channel, one name, one idea, Markiplier, a blend of Mark and multiplier. From the beginning, his content was slow, real, unpredictable. He screamed, he cried, he cared. What the audience didn't know was that behind every shout, behind every jump scare, was a man slowly rebuilding himself from ashes. Then came Five Nights at Freddy, a simple indie horror game that changed everything. Mark's playthroughs were electric, not just because they were funny, but because they were real. Viewers didn't just watch a guy scream at robots. They watched someone feel deeply, connect, break down, and rise again. Overnight, Markiplier wasn't just a gamer, he was the gamer. A face of YouTube, a voice of generation, someone who proved that emotion, authenticity, and heart could go viral. But fame has a price. Behind the screen, Mark was still fighting demons. Burnout, anxiety, the fear of not being enough. He spoke openly about mental health, about needing to disappear, to rest, to find a balance. And every time his audience listened, they didn't just admire him, they related to him. Because Markiplier didn't pretend to be perfect. He showed that being human, deeply human, was powerful. With his fame, Mark built something bigger than himself. He raised over $10 million for charity. He created spaces of comfort, laughter, healing. He honored his father's legacy, not through sadness but through impact. Every laugh, Every scream, every video became part of a story that started in a hospital bed and grew into hope for millions. Markiplier lost everything, and still he rose, not because life gave him second chances, but because he built them. So, the next time you laugh at one of his videos, remember the pain that comes before the joy. Because sometimes the strongest voices come from the quietest beginnings. If this story moved you, subscribe, like, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And tell us in the comments, what's one moment in your life that almost broke you? Because your story isn't over yet.